My lab studies the brain, and in particular it studies the outside of the brain, the cerebral cortex. The cerebral cortex is what we use to perceive, to remember, and to plan things. To understand the cerebral cortex, we would like to go one circuit at a time, and a circuit is roughly 10,000 neurons with tens of millions of connections between those neurons. To understand one of these circuits, you'd really want two things. You'd want to know what the circuit does and how it does it.
So we did this study in two parts. The first part's actually something we've been doing for 5 or 6 years now, and it's literally watching the brain see. On the left is a movie we showed an animal. On the right you see 50 neurons that are flashing away in the animal's brain. Every time a neuron gets bright, it's firing. In fact, these neurons are reacting to very specific elements in the visual scene. The big challenge is tracing the physical connections between these particular neurons, which brings us to the second part of the study.
So this is the electron microscope that we use to take millions of pictures over the course of several months.
After collecting high-resolution images of the neurons in question from our souped-up microscope, we began the process of assembling a wiring diagram. Here's a bird's-eye view of the neural circuit. When we zoom in, you can begin to see the impossible thicket of connections between these cells. We created this three-dimensional representation by stitching together millions of pictures comprising billions of pixels. Then, 3 scientists in my lab selected 10 individual neurons that we'd observed firing in the first part of the study, and they painstakingly traced the connections for these chosen 10. Using our 3D images, they crawled through the brain's dense thicket, for the first time jumping from neuron to neuron to create a partial wiring diagram of the circuit. They were able to identify each neuron's targets, as shown here. Altogether, this gives us a new approach to answer the question, how does the brain see? More importantly, we can finally look at circuits in the brain in all of their complexity. How the mind works is one of the greatest mysteries in nature, and this research presents a new and powerful way for us to explore that mystery.